Guys, welcome back from that commercial break. As I mentioned before, we have with us one of our official sponsors. That is Mr. Jim Rhone of Creative Comics and Creative Comics 2. We've missed out talking to him in a little few weeks here, but we are now with him, and we've got a lot to catch up on. A lot of cool stuff has happened since we last talked to him, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on this week as we're heading into Halloween, and I'm sure he'll be sharing with us some stuff that he's going on at the shop. So, with that said, Mr. Jim, welcome back to the show.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. We are going into Halloween week. I know you're excited. I know you guys do a lot of cool stuff around the Griffith location. Not sure about Monticello, but I'm sure you're getting excited for trick or treat time.
Yeah, we're gonna make a bunch of treat bags. So anybody who comes in outfit, young and old, we're doing we're gonna throw like a bag with like 5 comic books in it and give those away.
Oh, very cool. That sounds awesome. What hours are you planning on doing it? Normal hours at both locations, Jim, or what?
Well, we're gonna call it our Halloween weekend. So
Okay.
it's gonna be Saturday and Sunday. Our open out our regular hours. So in Griffith, it'll be from 11 to 6
Okay.
on Saturday and 1 to 4 on Sunday. So if you can't make it one day, you can make it another, or change your outfit and trick me and get 2 bags.
I'm telling you, very cool.
Monticello will be our regular Monticello hours, noon to 6 and 4 to 7 on Sunday.
Very cool. Excuse me. Jim's always done a lot of cool stuff around Halloween for the kids at Griffith and in Monticello. So it's very cool that you guys are still maintaining that. So it's very cool. It's a great deal. Little goodie bags that he's going to be handing out. So make sure you guys head to either location wherever you are. Now, Jim, there's a lot going on in the comic book world you and I need to catch up on. I guess we can just start with the DC side of things. What's new with DC that has caught your eye in recent weeks? Anything cool going on?
Well, coming out this week for Halloween, there is a the DC Universe versus Vampires and Task Force Z, 2 horror books. They're going to run 12 issues, so they'll run from this Halloween to next Halloween.
Ooh.
Task Force Z is basically Jason Todd is leading a bunch of villains risen from the dead to help out Amanda Waller.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
From the Suicide Squad. So she kind of has him working for her, but instead of villains, they're using the undead.
Ooh, zombies.
Zombies.
Very cool. Okay.
Universe versus Vampires. It kind of sits out. It's not in the main universe. You know, it's kind of like a Elseworld story where some of the heroes get turned by vampires, and looks pretty interesting so far. As a 1 out of 25 really cool Green Lantern cover, and it glows in the dark. And I just realized that when you take it in the dark and you see the glow picture, it's Hal Jordan with vampire team. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So that's the image you see in the dark. So that's what's going on with DC.
Cool.
The Batman 89 is still rolling. The Batman 76 is still rolling. Other stuff.
Yeah, what else you got going on?
Marvel. What's going on with Marvel?
Yeah, there you go.
Marvel.
Good idea.
Let's see. Marvel has the Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters is about to end.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's I think it's called Crimson Reign. It has to do with the Knights of the Ren. The Knights of the Ren characters in the upcoming Star Wars ones.
Cool.
SpiderMan has a brand new writer. What's his name? Ben Reilly took over as Spider-Man. It's so far so good. I really enjoyed the book. Yeah, it's basically when Dr. Octopus was Peter Parker a while back. He marketed the rights to the Spider-Man name, and when Peter Parker went bankrupt, somebody bought the rights to Spider-Man. So there's a huge company who wants to make a better Spider-Man and went to Ben Reilly and said, basically made him his test subject, and Ben went to Peter and told him what he was doing, and he's like, I'm not asking you, I'm doing this. There was a big fight between some villains and Peter Parker, and Peter Parker is out of commission for a while. It looks bad for him.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
So right now it's the Ben Reilly clone Spider-Man is the main Spider-Man.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
And Spawn books galore.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah, Gunslinger Spawn, Scorched Earth, maybe I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's Scorched something coming out. Spawn Universe, King Spawn. They're going all out trying to expand the Spawn universe.
Very cool.
It's mainly comic books. What else is there, Tim?
Oh, that's very cool, Jim. No, I like some of those cool storylines, man. It sounds very interesting. And again, like I said, I've been enjoying the Batman '89 comic book. That's been real fun too. And the whole Ben Reilly thing too. That's new. I haven't heard that, so I'm going to maybe consider jumping into that read. That sounds interesting too.
Yeah, I think I'm already kind of predicting a twist, but I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, don't do it.
So, yeah, I don't want to be a spoiler.
All right, well, switching gears from comic books to movies, I guess we can just dive into that. Have you seen Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I keep hearing mixed reviews, so I kind of, I've been kind of not in a hurry to see it.
All right. Well, I
got limited time, so it's
yes, you do.
unless I hear it's raving or a lot of times with these movies, if I don't see it the first week, I probably don't see it until it's way into this thing.
Sure, Sure. Well, the only thing that's really well, not to knock anybody who's a diehard fan of it, but the key point of it was the post-credit scene. Have you heard about it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we talked about that last time.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, we're still curious to see if any more developments go into that. Nothing has changed since then, so I was curious if you heard anything on your end. That's why I was bringing it up.
Oh, no, nothing yet.
Okay.
I mean, you keep hearing, what's the next one? Somebody made a suggestion last night, the end of the Spider-Man, even though it has been nothing released. How cool it would be, if the Fantastic Four. We pretty much know the gist of the Spider-Man one coming out.
Sure.
Doctor Strange messes with time, trying to get everybody to forget.
Mm-hmm.
If at the end, the Fantastic Four show up,
Ooh.
but they remember.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. So the guy at work was talking about that. I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. So.
Very cool. Okay, well, now that we've discussed that, and I was just curious to see if you had heard anything on your end. Have you seen the new trailer for DC's The Flash movie?
Yes, I watched that. Black Adam and what's the other one? Shazam.
Yes.
Shazam. It wasn't really a trailer, but it was a little shows the new updated outfits and stuff and things like that.
So what did you think of the trailer for Flash?
I wish they would have showed a little bit more. I mean, we know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have shown a Batmobile, that'd have been awesome.
Oh, it's in there somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they showed him taking out you see the outline of it, and he moved the cover, and he's like, wow. But, I mean, we already basically know it. Just show something.
Right.
I don't know. I thought it was a little bit, everything was just hint, but, I mean, with the internet and everything and everybody talking about, we all know that Michael Keaton's in it.
Yeah, that's so we know. No surprise there. I think it looked pretty good. I agree, but I mean, it was a first teaser, not a full scale trailer yet. Well, I guess that's arguable. I guess some people would say that it's a full trailer, but it was not bad for a teaser. It gave you a little sample of what's to come. What did you think about seeing multiple Barry Allens?
Pardon me?
What did you think about seeing the different Flashes that are in there? There's 3 of them.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think this might be the answer because the other preview they showed was the new Batman.
Yeah.
And people, even Schneider is like, this looks amazing,
Mm-hmm.
know, but then you got the Snyderverse people like, oh, but we want this. They can make a multiverse just from this flashpoint.
Yes.
You know, and say, okay, this is the Batman universe, but this is the Justice League universe. You know, they could expand off each one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a little more confusing than I actually want, but
still,
you know, there's you can't if this Batman turns out being amazing, are you just going to scrap it because you want to see the Snyderverse?
Right. Yeah. Not. Yeah. I hear you on that. I think too. I don't know if there's any I don't know if it's substantiated or not, but one of my links told me, or sites that I go to, said that the Matt Reeves Batman that's coming out with Robert Pattinson next year, supposedly the director of The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, allegedly. Now I don't know how I haven't investigated it thoroughly, so it's just a rumor at this point. But allegedly, The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix was basically the prelude to the Batman, Matt Reeves Batman. In other words, they're connected. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what a lot of people have been saying lately.
I mean, unless they use that night where everybody kind of goes crazy, and the death of his parents as a setup. But that Joker movie seems more of a psychological movie than a physical movie, and I don't want to see that Joker. You know what? I thought they did it perfectly, but I don't need to see that Joker fighting Batman.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's why I brought it up. I don't think that's the right fit. Now, like I said, it's just a rumor. No guarantees that it's even true, but it's one that I've been hearing around a lot of lately, to be honest. So, very interesting.
You could tie it in together and say it's a tying together, but I wouldn't be that excited about seeing that Joker as a villain, as a super villain.
Exactly. So, last movie I want to talk to you about, get your feedback on. I'm sure you may not have seen it, and if you did, cool. If not, it's okay. But Disney or Marvel's Eternals is out, or fixing to come out soon.
Is it out?
It's either fixing to come out, or I know they had. Well, let me rephrase. There's been a bunch of premieres. The premieres.
Okay.
They're doing a bunch of premieres right now. So that's why I was getting confused. They're doing several premieres across, I think, in New York, Chicago, L.A., a few overseas. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. They're doing the premiere for it already.
They already leaked the after credit.
Oh, really? What was it? I haven't seen that yet.
Would you like me to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal unless you're like a hardcore Avenger follower.
Right.
In the '80s, Star Fox, who's Thanos' brother, shows up.
Oh.
Star Fox he's part of the Avengers. He's more like a playboy.
Mm.
But he shows up. I mean, he was always kind of one of those throw-off characters, but he was one of the Titans.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those, but it was kind of like one of those things like, he shows up, but I mean, it's not like I'm like, wow, look at there. Finally, they put Star Fox in there. I couldn't care less.
Just another character they want to throw into the universe, so it would seem, I guess, more than anything. But what are your thoughts about the Eternals? I'm sure you've seen the trailers for it. There's been a lot of hype around it because I guess technically this is the first Marvel movie that has taken place since Endgame. The events of Endgame, I should say. So what do you think of the Eternals?
I'll have to check it out. I mean, it wasn't one of those things I was going to wait in line for.
Yeah, me neither. Not really.
I think SpiderMan's the first movie. Like, people are like, have you been in the movies yet? I'm like, nothing's wowed me to go see.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know, I was kind of disappointed. I'm going to change subjects for a second. I was disappointed the other night. I watched that Bill and Ted's movie, the new one.
Oh, you did? You watched it? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a waste of my life. It was horrible. The first one I enjoyed. The second one I thought was okay.
Yeah.
This third one, I'm like, just was like all over the place, made no sense. It just was goofy, and I was very disappointed.
No, I would agree with you. I've saw it too, and you almost need to kind of have a pen and paper nearby just to keep track of what's going on. It's very
Yeah.
you talk about time travel going crazy. That's a prime example of it. But
It just didn't even do anything for me. It's just like, meh. Yeah, that was my response. That's my response for it. Meh. Nah.
yeah, I would agree with it. For the same reasons you mentioned about the first and second one, I watched it because I just wanted to see what they were going to do with the characters all these years later.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I think the third one is probably going to be that's it. The franchise is done for good.
Well, it should be for that one. I was very disappointed. I thought it was going to be better than that, and I watched it. I'm like, wow, this is pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Where's my quote? That was my quote. Pretty horrible, yeah.
I hear you. So, yeah, I feel kind of, with the Eternals, it's not really characters that I feel like I would be really into per se. So I doubt that I'm actually going to go see it. Now, I'm not knocking anybody who's a diehard Eternal fan. I'm sure there are fans out there who are. And if you are, great. Go ahead. Support the movie. Get out there.
All 7 of them.
See what it does for you. But for me, probably going to skip it because it's just not characters that I personally have any interest in, personally.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I missed it. I'm sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
All 7 of those diehard fans.
All 7. Hey, don't knock it, man. Starts with 7, may grow from there. May grow to 8. That's about it.
Right.
I don't know.
Might be up to 9 by the end of the month.
I'm telling you. So.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of their choices of these movies. It's like you threw everything out. Now it's like even the sequels they kind of put behind. I mean, I heard all the sequels are sitting back for a year.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And DC better just jump on board and get things going. I mean, if you have a year without competition for superhero movies,
better start capitalizing, man. I know I would.
Yeah, you better start capitalizing. You better make sure you're putting out quality stuff. You quit being wishy-washy and over-editing.
Exactly. That's a big problem, too. I don't know. Hopefully with this Matt Reeves Batman, I heard there was some on-set confliction with a few people, but outside of that, it seems like it might be the start of a new trilogy, possibly, or at least another sequel. If anything else, it just ties in, like you said, like a DC multiverse situation, so that's not necessarily
Right.
a horrible thing either. Other than that, of course, you mentioned, what is it, Black Adam is coming out next year, I believe, featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's been hyping that up since he first got announced to be the character. So, let's talk about it. What are your takes on Black Adam from what you've seen so far?
It really didn't do much for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay, but hopefully the real trailer will wow me. That's what I'm hoping. You know.
My biggest problem with these, like Black Adam and like even Joaquin Phoenix the Joker, the problem is when you start focusing a film on a key villain like the Joker or Black Adam, okay, that's fine. I understand what you're trying to do, but unless you've got the protagonist in there, the superhero, I don't know that it's a good idea introducing basically a solo villain movie. It may not work out like you intended to.
Right. I mean, the Joker, the protagonist, was everything around him.
Right. Exactly.
From the city to
the
system. Black Adam, I can see it turn into be. I don't think they're going to make him a villain. In the current comic books, he's part of the Justice League.
Yeah, I think what they want to try to do, what Dwayne, and I think he had a lot to influence with the character, to be honest, although it's not been really said too much, is I think he wants to do what they do with Venom. Venom's kind of like an anti-hero. They kind of want to treat Black Adam in the same kind of manner, where he's a bad guy, but he's also, he does some good things here and there. Maybe. Or at least that's how they want to interpret it.
Like that, it kind of does something for you. And
I mean,
like I said, it's the first preview. I hope there's more.
I do
we'll
too.
Just say that.
DC Fandom has released a lot of cool stuff so far, a lot of cool stuff, especially for movies. We'll see what happens as time goes. Of course, Jim and I have talked about it in the past, earlier this year, The Snyderverse is still getting a lot of momentum. People are still backing it and not letting up on it. Just because it hasn't really circulated in the news lately doesn't mean that it's stopped. There's still a lot of support to get that back up and running. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, with these spin-off movies like The Flash, I'll just call it the Flashpoint Paradox. I guess that's what we can call it for now. Hopefully, that kind of movie will start to reinvigorate that desire to continue the story. Don't know. We'll see. Because a lot of these characters, like Ben Affleck, he said that he was done after Josh Whedon's Justice League, and then now that he changed his mind, he was in the Flash movie, and he's also been in the Snyder Cut Justice League. So never say never. Sometimes when these movies start getting some solo spin-offs, it might do more to get the universe back in the right direction. You never know.
Right. But what direction is that now?
That's the
going
problem.
Everywhere.
That's the problem. Because you got a ship that's out there and it's doing pretty good, but you don't got a captain to really steer it. So that's the problem. So
right.
Time will tell. All right, Mr. Jim, I'm going to start winding down here. Tell us again about the trick or treat and the hours, and again, let people know where you are at both locations if they want to come out and see you.
Well, this weekend it's Halloween, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. This weekend.
We're gonna sell. It's called Halloween Weekend.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's we're gonna do everybody in costume, young and old, gets a comic bag if they come in costume with 5 free books that I'll randomly select and put in bags, age appropriate, of course.
Sure.
Saturday will be from 11 till 6. Sunday 1 to 4. So if you can't make one, come the other. You got a different outfit, trick us, and do both days. It's okay. But don't complain if you get doubles in books if you come both days.
That's nothing wrong with that. It's good stuff. You always give the kids a lot of cool comic books when you guys do that. So
we're also going to do the kids rack. If it's $3.99 or less, it'll be $1. And I think we're going to do 25% off all toys. So everything will be listed on the Facebook page probably before the end of the night. So
okay, very good. So we'll make sure.
We'll also do the same thing in Monticello. Monticello is Saturday 12 to 6, and Sunday we have later hours, so it's 4 to 7. So I'm not sure what day Halloween is around here. I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday, so we're just going to celebrate both days.
Oh, there's nothing wrong. It's on Sunday, but there's nothing wrong doing Saturday and Sunday. That's a good, weekend event, so that's good. Very cool.
I honestly feel when I run for office, my stance is going to be Halloween should be the last Friday of the month.
That's not a bad idea.
I just love the fact when I was a kid.
Yeah.
If it was a Friday, a bunch of us with a bunch of me and my buddies, whatever age we were, we'd hang out and go trick or treating and order a pizza from Squeegee's and watch find a couple of horror movies on TV. We could watch, and it wasn't like 9 o'clock. Gotta get to bed. After having a sugar rush of eating Snickers all evening.
Yeah, there you go.
But I just felt like Friday, the last Friday of the month, should be Halloween.
Well, definitely. That way, like you said, you party out all night on those Snickers, and the next morning when you're keeled over, you just don't have to worry about school. You can just lay in bed until you get over it.
You can hang out with more friends and do. What were some of my favorite times growing up? I think about when Halloween felt like on a Friday or Saturday.
I think so too. Hopefully, well, it's making the rounds. It's going to be Sunday this year, so it's going to be a couple more years before it comes back on a Friday. But yeah, I hear you. Though. That's still not a bad idea, though.
For the kids and stuff.
Exactly. Jim, it's always fun having you on the show. I love talking about comic books, TV, and movies with you. You're my guy. You're my go-to guy for that. Out of all the people I know, you're the main guy that I can talk about this stuff with, and we have a good conversation about it. So.
Well, I do.
Exactly. Again, guys, check him out. If you're up here in the Northwest Indiana area, get over there to Griffith. He's right there. And if he's not there, he's got several employees that are there that'll help you. If you're in the Monticello location, which we cover, that's the cool thing about Facebook. We cover everybody nationwide, coast to coast, up, down, east, west. So if you're out in Monticello area and you're watching the show, get over there and check him out in Monticello. We got some cool staff there. Jim tries to get there as much as he can to be there for you guys. His staff's top notch. They know how to help you, guide you through whatever it is you're looking for, especially if you're new to the comic book world. With that said, Jim, I'm looking forward to talking to you going into November. I can't believe we're knocking at November. We're going to be going into December pretty soon, too.
I know. I heard your show runs multiverse to multiverse. That's what I heard.
Shush. Who leaked that? That was supposed to be private. I don't know who leaked that. Somebody leaked that out. I'm going to have to find that leak. Anyway, yeah, that's good. So, all right, Jim, I appreciate you taking time joining us today. It's always fun talking with you. I'll be sure to stop by the shop at some point, either today or later, and come see you in person. So make sure you guys come on by and check Jim out.
See you later. Thank you.